and my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Philippians 4 verse 19. I speak my voice with power on this day to remind you that you are not limited by bank accounts nor by the salary you receive from human hands. Your earthly resources may run out, but my heavenly flow never runs dry. I hold the entire creation with a single word, and if I feed the birds of the sky and clothe the lilies of the field with beauty, how will I not provide generously for the one who trusts in me? The source that sustains you is not born of the earth, nor does it dry up from human droughts. I am inexhaustible in provision, abundant in riches, tireless in multiplying what is given in faith. When it seems that everything comes to an end, that is when I open rivers in the midst of the desert and make springs flow in dry places. No one can limit what flows from my hand, because what I release no circumstance can stop. Today I declare over your life that you will experience a supernatural outpouring in the financial area. Not as a forced human effort, but as an unexpected torrent that comes to show you that you do not depend on natural calculation, but on the power of my faithfulness. What for many is scarcity, for you will become testimony. I have seen you worried before bills that seem impossible to pay, before expenses that multiply, and before income that seems to diminish. But listen to the truth of my word. I am greater than your debts, more extensive than your needs, richer than the treasures of any human empire. In an instant I can change red balances into testimonies of abundance. Do not look at the size of your empty pockets. Behold the magnitude of my heavenly wealth. Do not limit your faith to what you see in your hands, because what I have prepared surpasses everything you calculate. Today I extend over you a river of unexpected provision. Contracts you did not seek, opportunities you did not ask for, doors you never thought would open. My power is in action even at this moment, though your eyes may not yet perceive it. When Israel crossed the desert and there were no supermarkets, I sent fresh manna every morning. When a prophet hid hungry by a brook, I commanded the ravens to feed him. Do you think your current expenses are a limit for me? I am an expert in surprising my children with provision in scenarios where others only see desolation. Do not fear the financial future, because your tomorrow is secured in me. While many are swept away by market crises, I establish a clear difference in those who trust in my power. Even in the midst of recessions, I lift those who wait on me. In the midst of economic shutdowns, I open windows from heaven to pour out blessings that do not fit in the human mind. Today I tell you that you will not beg for bread, you will not be a slave to eternal debts, you will not live under the oppression of lack. For I am decreeing over you a change of season. You move from barren land to fertile fields, from empty accounts to full barns, from financial anguish to the abundant peace that only my Spirit can give. Human logic will tell you that your income is not enough, that your work is insufficient, that your possibilities are small. But my prophetic voice declares, your limit is not in your effort, but in the magnitude of my grace. I multiply time, money, strength, and connections. I breathe over a small idea and transform it into a prosperous business. I inspire a hidden talent and turn it into a source of income. Do not fear losing the little you have, because in my hands the small does not disappear, it expands. What seems insignificant becomes abundant. Remember the widow's flour and oil, which never ran out because I was in the midst. I will do the same with you. The fridge will not be empty, the resources will not run out. There will always be provision that surprises you. Today I release creativity over you so that you understand that my provision does not always arrive through usual paths. Sometimes it does not come through salary, but through a granted favor, through unexpected help, through a new client, through a project that suddenly arises. Sometimes it comes through expense reduction, through debt cancellation, through investments that bear fruit. I move all the pieces because I am the owner of the visible and the invisible. To you who have felt the weight of lack, I tell you, lift your head, for you will not live forever in want. I establish a new decree over your economy, abundance that breaks patterns, provision that changes your family's history, blessing that will be inheritance for yours. Many around you will see your change and ask how you achieved it. Then you will know that it was not your effort, but my mighty hand that worked. I will make your testimony a seed of faith for others, because your financial miracle will not be private, it will be public. And when they speak of you, They will acknowledge that my hand opened what seemed impossible. Today I blow over your economy like wind that disperses the cloud of debts and brings clear skies of provision. I lift you from the numbers that enslave you, I break the yokes that kept you tied to endless loans, and I declare that you walk in financial freedom. I will not only provide to cover the necessary, but I will give you more so that you may be a channel of blessing. Because the abundance I pour out does not only have the purpose of satisfying you, but of making you an instrument of generosity. You will give, you will lend, you will sow, and you will extend your hands to bless many. What you once received in drops will now come in torrents. So do not fix your eyes on what you lack. Lift them toward the source that never runs dry. I speak today and establish that your season of worry ends, and a season of trust in my inexhaustible flow begins. The desert turns into a garden, the drought becomes a river, scarcity transforms into abundance. Listen well. No government can limit my provision, no crisis can stop my flow, no enemy can dry up my rivers. I am the owner of gold and silver, and I distribute it with wisdom so that my purpose may be fulfilled in your life. Just as the stars cannot be counted, so will be the provision you will begin to experience. Not because you deserve it by human works, but because my grace is inexhaustible and my love is eternal. I declare that from today you will experience the power of my inexhaustible source. The heavens open, the doors unlock, the paths clear, the resources flow. There will be no drought to stop you, no desert to quench you, no debt to sink you. I am working in favor of your economy, and nothing will be able to stop it. Walk with faith, because you no longer live under the weight of scarcity, but under the glory of my abundance. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. Malachi 3 verse 10. See how I work in the small to unleash the great. I do not need immense quantities to manifest my power, for my strength is made perfect in weakness and my wealth is displayed in the smallest that is offered with trust. The little in your hands is enough to show my greatness, for when you present to me the limited, I turn it into abundance that surpasses all understanding. Just as the bread in human hands seemed insufficient to feed multitudes, in my presence it multiplied until baskets were left over. In the same way I will do with your resources. Do not fear to bring what you consider small, for from the small I create great testimonies. I do not despise what is limited. On the contrary, I transform it into signs of my glory. Many think that to prosper they need large investments or initial wealth, but I delight in showing that with the little I can raise unexpected abundance. The tiniest seed, when it falls into fertile ground, becomes a mighty tree that gives shade and fruit in every season. So it will be with you. The financial seed that seems small under your calculations, under my power will expand in unimaginable ways. Do not underestimate your small beginnings, for within them lies the start of abundance. The hands that bring little, when lifted in faith, cause the heavens to open. The handful of flour that seemed not enough, in my plans becomes daily provision that never ends. I multiply your income, your talents, and even the time you dedicate to work so that you may experience a supernatural dimension of results. Today I speak with power over your financial life. The limited becomes expansive, the scarce transforms into overflowing, the minimum in your bank accounts becomes testimony of my provision. The small figures you see today will not define your destiny, for I can swell the sources, breathe over stalled businesses, revive dormant projects, and make flourish what seemed dry. I delight in multiplying what you entrust with confidence. I do not ignore the tears shed when you count each coin, nor the frustration when it does not seem enough to cover what is needed. But listen to my promise. Those coins, when they pass through my hands, become seeds of provision that will open unexpected harvests. What seemed little to survive will be transformed into abundance to share. The fields you saw empty I fill with fruit. The accounts you saw at zero I lift up. The sales that seemed stalled I multiply in number and in impact. There is no limit to my creativity in unleashing provision, for I use the least expected paths to show my faithfulness. Do not limit yourself to seeing the little as insufficient. See the small as the beginning of something greater. I do not need large amounts to demonstrate my power. I only require hearts that trust and hands that dare to give even when it seems impossible. And when you give the little with faith, my law of multiplication is activated. What seems scarce begins to expand until the hands cannot contain it. Today I establish over you that you will not live with the mindset of scarcity. You will learn to see the minimum as the starting point of abundance. You will no longer say, "It's not enough," because you will begin to declare, "This will multiply." And so it will be, for my word is living and effective, and what I decree in heaven is manifested on earth. In the same way that a tired fisherman cast his nets and caught more fish than he could contain, I will do with you. That small business you thought had no future will be raised by my power. That investment that seemed insignificant will flourish in unexpected proportions. That idea you considered of little value will become a source of income. I declare over you a change of vision. You will no longer see the little with disdain, you will see it with expectation. You will expect every resource you give or use to be multiplied. Your bread will not be scarce, your table will not be empty, your work will not be sterile. What today is small will be testimony that in my hands nothing is wasted and everything multiplies. And I will not only multiply the material, I will also multiply the opportunities that open before you. Where before there was one client, 10 will appear. Where before there was a closed door, many more will arise. Where before a contract seemed impossible, you will see proposals that will surprise you. I unleash multiplication in every area of your economic life. Listen carefully to what I declare. The little will not be your sentence, it will be your point of miracle. For in heaven I do not operate under the logic of amounts, but under the logic of my power. And my power is inexhaustible, creative, and surprising. From today you will experience multiplication as a lifestyle. You will see how your resources stretch further, how your income expands, how your projects grow beyond expectation. It is not about luck, it is about my intervention. It is not about your strength, it is about my faithfulness. Many will see your testimony and say it is not possible with the little you had. But you will know that it was not the work of man, but the manifestation of my glory. For I love to use the small to shame unbelief, and the limited to show that in me there is no lack. From now on, your economy will not be marked by lack, but by multiplication. You will see how what seemed insufficient becomes abundance for you and for yours. And you will not only have enough to cover the necessary, you will have to sow, to give, and to bless. For my multiplication does not stop in you, it flows through you to others. Prepare yourself, for your accounts will not remain at zero, your resources will not be exhausted, your hands will not be empty. The little you have placed in my presence is already expanding. And when abundance arrives, you will remember that it all began with the small that you entrusted into my hands. Behold, I have set before you an open door which no one can shut. Revelation 3 verse 8. When everything seems blocked, when your efforts do not prosper and when opportunities seem to vanish, that is when I manifest my power by opening paths you never imagined. No earthly lock is able to resist the decree of my voice, because in my authority lies the power to create doors even in places where there was previously no entrance. I tell you today that you are not limited by the rejections of men nor by the systems that exclude. Even if they say you do not qualify, even if they close the accesses and even if logic repeats to you that there is no way out, I go ahead and place before you a new door, designed to show that my financial plans surpass any human calculation. You have felt what it is to strive without seeing results, to knock on doors and receive silence, to ask for opportunities and be ignored. But not everything is defined by the no you received, because when I speak with my authority, even those who said no will have to step back. I place before you accesses you did not expect, bringing contracts, income, clients, and connections that will change the course of your story. When there is no visible way, I raise paths where there was nothing. Just as I opened the sea so that my people could cross on dry ground, so I also open financial routes where others only see impossibilities. I will make businesses spring up in the midst of unstable economies. I will make provision arise where there seemed to be no investment. I will make your name resound in places where no one knew you before. The door I place before you does not depend on human recommendations. It is not subject to committees nor to temporary favors. It is a door that I establish with my authority, and what I establish cannot be torn down. No one will be able to close what I have decided to open, and no one will be able to stop what I have determined to deliver. In your financial life, you have seen walls that seemed unbreakable, stalled procedures, denied loans, businesses that did not start. But declare in your spirit that those walls fall, because I am creating supernatural openings. Where there was a rejected, now there will rise an approved. Where there were closed iron doors, they will be unlocked by the power of my intervention. I transform obstacles into testimonies. What once was a barrier becomes a platform of blessing. Where they told you it was impossible, you will see that my grace opens accesses. And when you cross those doors, you will understand that it was not your strength but my hand working in your favor. The enemy wanted to make you believe that you were trapped, that there was no way out, that your income would always be limited. But listen well, I placed before you new entries, routes you had not considered, paths you had not imagined. Just as a desert did not prevent my people from finding provision, neither will scarcity be an obstacle to manifest abundance in your life. I will raise you up in places where no one expected you to emerge. I will position you at tables that seemed inaccessible. I will make your voice heard in places of economic influence. Not because you seek your own glory, but to show that when I open a door, no one can close it. Today I decree that the keys of financial access are placed in your hands. Keys that will open unexpected jobs, extraordinary contracts, resources that were held back. Keys that will unlock what had been detained for years. Keys that will give way to businesses, lands, inheritances, and strategic alliances. Watch how in a short time you will begin to see opportunities you had not imagined. Job offers that appear without seeking them, clients who come without advertising, investments that present themselves with clarity. This is the fruit of my power, not of human strategies. I open doors that did not exist to show you that you do not depend on markets but on my faithfulness. And I will not only open great accesses, I will also open small cracks that will turn into streams. A simple conversation will become a project. A small idea will become a company. An unexpected contact will become a source of income. Every detail that seemed insignificant becomes a door designed by me. Do not fear those who try to block your way. Even if they block roads, I prepare others. Even if they close entrances, I raise alternative routes. My plan does not stop before human resistance. What I have prepared for you will arrive with certainty, because my word does not return empty. I will make you experience the power of unexpected provision. In places where there was nothing, you will find abundance. In moments where there seemed to be no way out, accesses will emerge. In times of crisis, opportunities will open that many will not see. Because the doors I design are not limited by the economy but backed by my kingdom. You will receive calls you never thought you would receive, messages that will open new routes, proposals that will surpass your expectations. And when that happens, you will know that the door was not built by men but by my hand. Because I delight in opening accesses where before there were only walls. I tell you with authority that the doors of heaven open over your economy. I pour provision, increase, and abundance. You will no longer walk in circles before closed doors, because I place before you new entries. I introduce you into territories of prosperity, into spaces of favor, and into atmospheres where abundance flows. Walk confidently, for you are no longer before walls, you are before openings. You will no longer be stopped by blockages, for I have decreed that you will see doors that open in your favor. This is my promise. Accesses in impossible places, provision in dry places, abundance in the midst of nothing. The time of knocking without receiving an answer is over. Now it is time to enter through doors that no one can close. You will advance towards signed contracts, released payments, unexpected help, and multiplied resources. I declare that your economy aligns with my purpose, and that every door I open will be to establish you in abundance. You will no longer live with the feeling of being trapped. Today you receive expansion, opening, and access. My power opens ways, my word tears down barriers, my favor introduces you into places of provision. Get ready, because you will enter a financial dimension where every open door will be a testimony of my glory. The Lord opens his hand and satisfies every living thing with his favor. Psalm 145 verse 16. My voice speaks clearly over your days, and I declare with power that you will not live in the confusion of scarcity. I bring order in the midst of your disorder. I bring a divine calendar in the midst of your waiting, and every resource will arrive at the precise hour. Nothing will be lacking, nothing will arrive late, and nothing will come ahead of my perfect plan. I have established times that no man can alter. What seems like delay is truly preparation. I have not forgotten your cries, nor have I closed my ears to your need. Every prayer of yours has been taken into account in the counsel of my will. That is why, even if you think help delays, at the moment I extend my hand, the heavens open and the earth produces what was hidden. I watch your path and calculate every step in detail. I am not subject to human haste nor to the agendas of this world. I manage the clocks of eternity and align every circumstance in your favor. When everything seems stagnant, when the bills press, and when sustenance seems impossible, I raise my signal on high and move the invisible so that the visible changes in an instant. The provision I prepare is not common, because it does not come from the limited effort of man. It comes from my creative power that never fails. Just as I commanded the raven to feed Elijah, so also I move unexpected instruments to sustain you. I will make your table set even when others think the desert is barren. In your life there will be a living testimony, that of seeing doors open when the date marked in heaven arrives. Not before, not after, but exactly at the moment when you need it most. I rule over time, and no enemy will be able to get ahead of my purpose. I have placed in your hands seeds of faith, and each one will germinate in the right season. Do not despair if you do not yet see fruit, because the tree yields in its time. So also your economy will flourish in the exact framework of my will. Everything will sprout with strength and bring peace to your heart. Listen to what I announce. Soon provision you did not expect will come to you, with an exactness that will surprise everyone. It will be like water springing from the dry rock, like rain falling at the precise moment to save the harvest. That will be my sign that I walk with you and that there is no delay in my plans. You will not be put to shame before men. You will not live humiliated by endless debts nor by unfulfilled promises. I lift you out of that burden and bring relief that you feel in your shoulders and in your heart. The money that was missing, the contract that seemed lost, the opportunity that seemed closed, everything will appear at the right hour. My calendar does not fail. No one can stop the movement of my hand. When I decree that it is time for provision, the heavens collaborate, the earth produces, and even those who do not know you become channels of blessing for you. Rise in confidence, because the financial trials you face will not last forever. Days are coming when you will be amazed to see how every expense finds its backing and how every debt has an unexpected solution. This miracle will not depend on banks nor on human systems, but on the glorious intervention of my power. When others worry about what is lacking, you will raise a banner of victory saying, "The Lord provided at the exact moment." That will be your declaration and your testimony before many. Today I confirm that your accounts are not invisible to me. Every detail of your economy is under my supervision. I have not left you to luck nor to chance. I sustain you at every stage, and I will make you experience the exactness of my hand. Your table will never be empty. Those who depend on you will not know hunger nor abandonment, because my faithfulness guarantees that every resource will arrive at the necessary moment. You will see how the small multiplies just when you thought it was running out. You will see how the impossible is resolved just when you had no alternative left. All this will be so that your faith grows and you know that you are not sustained by chance, but by the God who manages time with precision. My promises are fulfilled, and none of my words fall to the ground. In the perfect season I will open fountains, bring contracts, multiply profits, give creative ideas, and cause new connections to spring forth. Do not fear for tomorrow's hour, because each day will come accompanied by its corresponding bread. Do not fight against the deadlines that seem to press you, because I am the one who changes the dates and grants unexpected extensions. What seemed expired is renewed, what seemed lost returns, and what seemed inaccessible opens in your favor. There will be signs that confirm that this word is true. A call that comes at the right moment. A payment that appears just when you need it most. A business that closes in the week that seemed the most difficult. All this will be the manifestation that heaven controls your calendar. I correct your accounts, balance your numbers, release the blocked resources, and untie what was held back. No delay will dominate your future. Your trust will be rewarded and your waiting will be honored. When the appointed moment arrives, no one will be able to prevent you from receiving what I have kept for you. Provision will fall like abundant rain, and you will see that it was not delay but divine strategy. Walk with a firm step, for this is the announcement I established today. In your life there will be financial miracles that will come with a punctuality that will astonish many. You will be a living testimony that my hand acts with perfection and that my calendar never fails. The Lord will be your everlasting light, and your days of mourning will come to an end. Isaiah 60 verse 20. I declare over you a new dawn where the shadow of scarcity will no longer have dominion. I lift my voice in triumph and destroy the shackles that have limited your progress. You will no longer walk with the burden of emptiness, for today I tear down the walls that kept your provision locked away. Scarcity is not your inheritance, nor the constant fear of not having enough. I have decreed that your finances enter a season of freedom. What once seemed like an endless cycle of debts, losses, and closed doors will now be broken by the force of my intervention. I have seen how you have struggled with little, how you have counted every coin, and how you have carried the weight of bills that seemed never-ending. Today I announce that those chains break under the power of my word. You will no longer live as a slave to insufficiency. Everything that held you bound to the fear of having nothing, I tear down now. I uproot the voices that said you would not make it, that you would not move forward, that you would always be limited. With authority, I undo those lies and replace them with the truth of my abundance. Your finances will be free from the prison in which they were locked. Just as I open the seas to free a people from slavery, today I open paths that lead you out of the financial desert. Never again will you walk chained to the thought that prosperity is impossible. Scarcity had built strongholds in your mind, but I tear them down so you may see clearly that you do not depend on human structures. I break the invisible chains that tied your hands to failure, and I place in your hands tools that will multiply your effort. From today, a new cycle is released over you. It will not be a simple change of numbers, but a profound transformation where you will experience my backing. The money that was missing will begin to flow, the opportunities you could not see will be revealed, and the resources that were held back will be released. Scarcity tried to stop you, but it will no longer prevail. The shackle of limitation falls to the ground with a crash, and in its place rises a future of abundant provision. Remember how I turned the desert into rivers, for I will also turn your dryness into abundance. Where there seemed to be no way out, I will open fountains. Where your hands grew weary, I will breathe new strength and multiply what you touch. I break chains that came from past generations, inherited ties of poverty that seemed unbreakable. What others could not overcome, you will conquer by the power of my word. The cycle of lack that repeated itself in your family is cut off with you, and from now on a new story of provision and fullness will flow. You will no longer be a prisoner of endless debts. I tear down the prison of suffocating interest and burdens that stole your peace. I unlock the bolts of those chains and set your feet on a firm path. Your table will know abundance, and your hands will have freedom to give and to bless. You will no longer live with the fear of not being able to cover the basics, for I supply the essentials and beyond what you imagine. The chains that once bound your projects and caused them to stagnate are cut today. I declare movement in what was stalled. You will see contracts activated, businesses prosper, ideas come to life, and clients arrive unexpectedly. All this will be the evidence that you have been set free. You will no longer think as a slave of scarcity. Your mind will be renewed to believe in multiplication, in expansion, and in the financial miracles I prepare for you. You will no longer be conditioned by the numbers in an account, but by the riches I pour out from my eternal treasure. I break the chains of discouragement that came every time you saw a closed door. From now on, instead of frustration, you will see opportunity. Where once there was fear, there will be confidence, and where there were tears, laughter of victory will rise. The power of scarcity over you is finished. It will have no dominion over your tomorrow. I have marked your steps with freedom, and in that freedom you will experience my faithfulness. The spiritual ties that blocked your financial progress fall without remedy. No dark strategy will be able to stop the river of provision I prepare. My light disperses the shadow that had halted your progress. This is the time when you will see tangible miracles. Debts paid unexpectedly, doors opened without human explanation, and increases that did not depend on your ability. All this will be a sign that your finances are no longer in chains, but under my freedom. You will witness how the little ceases to be scarce and becomes abundant. You will witness how those who once saw you as limited will now see your table full. This work is mine, and no one will be able to attribute it to another source. Celebrate the victory, for scarcity is behind you. The chains are broken, and in their place are expansion, freedom, and abundance. Your future will be a living testimony of my financial power working on your behalf. Today I establish it in the heavens and confirm it on earth. The chains of scarcity will no longer hold you. Move forward in freedom, for your life has entered a new dimension of unlimited provision. I will give you hidden treasures in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who calls you by name. Isaiah 45 verse 3. Today I ignite within you a spark that will transform your financial future. I breathe fresh inspiration over your mind and place within you thoughts you have never considered before. You will not walk limited to what you already knew, for I open a river of creativity inside you that will become unexpected provision. The ideas I deposit within you are keys that will open doors to new territories. You will not depend solely on what you learned in the past, but you will discover strategies that are born directly from my counsel. I will show you ways to produce, to multiply, and to manage that will change the course of your life. You have felt that opportunities repeated themselves or were closed, but I declare that a different season begins now. I set up scenarios before you where your talents will shine in extraordinary ways. You will not compete with the ordinary, because what I ignite in you will be original, unique, and filled with favor. Scarcity will no longer dictate the limits of your creativity. In moments of need, I will open your understanding and you will see paths that others do not see. Just when you think there is no alternative, I will place in your mind an idea that will unlock resources. That will be my sign that I walk with you in every detail. In the coming days, you will experience unusual clarity. Projects that seemed stagnant will receive new direction. Businesses that were closed will open through solutions I place in your heart. Every thought born under my inspiration will bear fruit and turn into tangible provision. I declare that your capacity expands. Where once you saw problems, now you will perceive opportunities. Where others only see losses, you will discover seeds of gain. It will not be by your natural effort, but by the illumination I pour out from above. I ignite within you ideas that will attract key people. I will place by your side strategic partners, the right clients, needed mentors, and doors of connection. Everything will align so that what arises from your creativity finds fertile ground to flourish. The opportunity one prepare will not be common, for it will come in unexpected places. I will make what seemed insignificant become the platform for something great. I will make what seems small transform into abundance. In this way you will testify that my hand opens what no one can open. Do not fear if others do not understand your vision, for the creativity I ignite in you will be ahead of its time. I will use you as a pioneer in areas where few have entered. You will be a reference in paths where once there was no direction. Scarcity tried to suffocate your mind with worries, but today I pour out peace so that your thoughts may be free and productive. That peace will open space for innovation. You will not work from anguish, but from the certainty that my resources flow with you. What I activate within you will be the seed of prosperous businesses. Many will see in you the evidence that my favor produces wealth beyond human effort. The market will open, sales will multiply, opportunities will be confirmed, because my ideas bring heavenly backing. You will see how a small inspiration unleashes a chain of blessings. A design, a project, a strategy, or even a simple conversation will be transformed into abundance. Nothing will be coincidence, for every detail will come from my hand. I place upon you the ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. I will make what others discard become your source of income. Where all see ruin, you will build enterprises. Where all see obstacles, you will raise opportunities. The opportunities one reveal will be aligned with your eternal purpose. It will not be empty gain, but prosperity with meaning. You will have resources to bless, to expand, and to impact generations. Money will no longer be a cruel master, but a tool under your command. Remember that what I ignite in your mind carries my seal of eternity. They are not fleeting ideas, but plans prepared so that you may see my glory manifest. What now seems like a simple thought will become a testimony of abundance. You will no longer say there is no way out, for every closure will give way to something new. I will cause unprecedented opportunities to appear in the midst of changes. While others lament what ends, you will celebrate what begins. The world will say it was coincidence, but you will know it was the fruit of my ideas ignited within you. Everything you undertake under my direction will carry assured success. The doors I open will be wide and firm. You will not have to force them, for they will open naturally. No one will be able to close them, for they carry eternal backing. What seemed impossible will turn into visible reality. You will be surprised with income you did not imagine, with contracts that exceed your expectations, with projects that expand your influence. All this because you walk under the creative fire I ignite in you. I announce to you that days are coming where you will experience constant innovation. You will not live off a single idea, but you will receive a continuous flow. Like an inexhaustible spring, your mind will produce and produce without tiring. That creativity will be a testimony to many, and they will know it comes from above. Your life will become a beacon of inspiration, and others will seek your counsel because they will recognize your source is different. Today I establish in the heavens and confirm on the earth. In your life, creative ideas and new opportunities are ignited that will bring forth tangible financial miracles. Nothing will stop you, for what I begin in your mind will flourish in your hands and bear abundant fruit. For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. Psalm 5 verse 12. I extend my word over you and proclaim an anointing of favor that will transform your financial landscape. It will not be ordinary favor, but a powerful covering that opens a way where there were obstacles. I surround you with grace that distinguishes you, with backing that attracts provision, and with honor that will cause many to bow to help you. The favor I pour out does not depend on your merits, but on my eternal covenant. This favor acts as a master key that opens doors that once seemed inaccessible. What was blocked is unlocked. What seemed distant draws near. What was impossible becomes tangible reality. Where others face resistance, you will find acceptance. Where others are ignored, your voice will be heard. You will no longer walk under the weight of rejection, for my favor goes before you as a banner of victory. Your finances will feel the impact of this supernatural grace. I will cause resources you did not seek to reach you. I will cause influential people to become instruments of provision for your life. Favor is not just a concept, it is the evidence that heaven itself backs your steps. The money that seemed withheld will be released because of my favor. The businesses that were on hold will be activated. The clients who seemed undecided will say yes. The opportunities you never considered will suddenly appear. This financial favor will not only be visible in numbers, but also in the peace of knowing you are under my covering. You will not compete from a place of lack, but you will move forward with the certainty that circumstances bend in your favor. The time of financial blows turns into a season of progress. The shame of not having enough turns into a testimony of abundance. Where once you lacked, now you will have to share, for my grace multiplies what you touch. This favor opens paths and places you never thought you would enter. I place you before tables of decision. I position you in places of influence. I give you access to environments where your voice will be valued. You will no longer walk in the margins, for my grace establishes you at the center of purpose. You will see contracts, jobs, and partnerships that others sought unsuccessfully being placed into your hands without excessive effort. This will not be the product of coincidence, but the outpouring of my favor upon your life. I announce to you that even in the midst of crisis you will prosper. While others fall into fear, you will advance with firmness, because my grace opens breaches and my favor brings provision. The difference will be evident. While the world worries, your life will shine as a sign of my backing. I have decided that favor will be your seal. You will be recognized as one who walks under a special covering. What seemed inaccessible will yield to your steps, because my grace precedes your movements. The financial favor I release will not only meet your needs, but will position you in places of influence. You will not have to beg for opportunities, for they will run toward you. What once seemed distant will arrive at your door as a response to your faith. Do not fear if human calculations say it is not possible, for my grace does not depend on human formulas. What I prepare transcends the mathematics of men and proves that heaven rules over the earth. The favor I pour out today is continuous, not momentary. It will follow you wherever you go, sustain you in every season, and ensure that your table remains full. This grace will not run out, for it comes from my eternal essence. Those around you will witness how doors open before you without explanation. They will know my favor is real, and many will come to ask you how it happened. Then you will testify that it was my grace that changed your financial destiny. I break the limitation that said you would never advance. I declare expansion over your projects and growth in your resources. You will be surprised with income that exceeds your expectations, with promotions you did not seek, with advancements that seemed unreachable. You will not need to manipulate or force anything, for my favor does the work. Like a river carving its way through the rock, so I will open firm paths in your financial life. Where everything was closed, now there will be free passage. The world will recognize that you walk with heavenly backing. That recognition will be a platform that attracts even more blessings. You will not live struggling in your own strength, but resting in the flow of my grace. Your name will be mentioned in places of honor. Your voice will be sought in moments of decision. Your work will be valued more than you expected. All of this because my favor poured out over you makes you shine among many. This favor not only benefits you but all those around you. Your generations will experience the abundance that flows from my grace. Your table will be wide, and you will have to bless others, for my favor multiplies what I place in your hands. Every step you take will carry the mark of my backing. You will see things flow with ease. What seemed complicated will be resolved. What seemed distant will draw near quickly. This will be the sign that my favor reigns over you. Rise up in confidence, for this is the decree I establish today. Over your life I pour out financial favor in abundant measure. This favor opens doors, releases resources, attracts opportunities, and multiplies your efforts. Nothing will be able to stop what I decide in your favor. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23 verse 1. I have decided to walk with you as the shepherd who watches over every detail of your life. My eyes do not rest, my hands do not withdraw, and my voice guides your steps toward abundance. Nothing around you has the final word, because I prepare before you a fertile ground where your hands will gather fruit and your eyes will see multiplication. You shall lack nothing, for my favor opens rivers in the dry land, causes resources to spring forth where others see desert, and turns the little into a stream of provision that does not run out. Hear what I declare over your life. I am pouring out financial miracles that do not depend on human calculations nor on the limitations of the system. You will see, in a surprising way, how the heavens align to favor you, how doors unlock without you forcing them, how contracts, opportunities, and resources arrive at your table at the right moment. You will not walk in uncertainty as one who does not know what will happen tomorrow. I affirm you with power. Every need will be met, every debt will be faced with unexpected resources, and every worry will be transformed into a testimony of my glory. I shepherd your finances with zeal, and under my direction your steps will be guided toward projects that prosper, investments that flourish, decisions that bring peace and abundance. When others ask how you managed to move forward in the midst of the storm, you will know that it was I who poured provision at the exact instant. You shall lack nothing, for I clothe the lilies of the field and feed the birds of the air. How much more will I care for you, who are in my eternal plans of greatness and fullness? My provision does not arrive late nor get lost. It arrives at the exact moment, with the right measure, and with the strength that propels you forward. I have decreed that scarcity shall not have dominion over you. That time of counting coins in fear, of anxiously waiting for an income to arrive, of carrying the anguish of insufficiency, is broken under the power of my word. Now a new chapter opens where your mouth will proclaim, I lacked nothing, everything I needed came to me by the hand of the eternal shepherd. I am going to teach you not to depend solely on human effort, but to walk in the certainty that my resources are inexhaustible. You will see multiplication in sales, increase in your income, fresh ideas that turn into solid businesses, contacts that appear at the exact moment to give you access to territory that seemed closed. I want you to know that I do not lead you to a dry field, but to green pastures of continuous provision. Every step will be accompanied by the flow of my financial goodness, every decision will receive the backing of my wisdom, and every project will bear the mark of my favor. While others fall into fear and uncertainty, you will walk with the peace of one who knows that everything is supplied. I will make you rest in financial security, because when your trust is in me, no crisis nor economic change can shake your provision. Just as the manna came down every day in the wilderness to feed an entire people, so will fresh, unexpected, and sufficient resources descend upon you. You will not have to hoard in anxiety, because my provision will be daily, constant, and glorious. The enemy tried to make you believe that you would live limited, that there would always be a lack, that you could never advance beyond the minimum. Today I decree the opposite. You will experience expansion, you will see abundance flow, and you will understand that the shepherd who guides you also leads you to overflowing abundance. My financial miracles will not be limited to paying the urgent, but will open margin for you to invest, dream, and help others. Because when nothing is lacking, your heart learns to be a channel of blessing for those around you. I want your hands to know the weight of the harvest, not only the struggle of sowing. I want your eyes to see full storehouses, increasing accounts, supplied tables, homes with everything necessary and more. Because the shepherd who cares for your soul also ensures that your table is never empty. You will receive unexpected agreements, refunds you had forgotten, income that exceeds your calculations, alliances that connect you with higher levels of provision. In every detail the imprint of my pastoral care will be sealed. You shall lack nothing in times of global scarcity, for I will make you live under a system of heavenly provision. When others say, "There is none," you will declare, "In my house there is abundance." And that testimony will resonate to show that my miracles are not past history but present reality. I open before you a path of stability. You will not walk from miracle to miracle with anxiety, but from provision to provision with confidence. You will witness a glorious constancy where every day, every week, and every month your needs will be met. Today I seal over you an eternal word. You shall lack nothing. Your accounts will see increase, your projects will receive momentum, your ideas will turn into income, and your environment will be transformed by the provision I pour over you. I lift your head so that you do not live looking at what you do not have, but at what I have already provided for you. I bring you out of the mindset of scarcity and lead you to a state of abundance where everything you undertake prospers. You shall lack nothing in youth nor in old age, in days of sowing nor in days of harvest. I am in every season ensuring that abundance does not depart from your table. So rest, for what seemed impossible to attain will arrive in my timing. Remember this truth. As long as I am your shepherd, your life will never know emptiness, your hands will never be without provision, and your heart will never again fear lack. And I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, the cankerworm, the caterpillar, and the palmerworm, my great army which I sent among you. Joel 2 verse 25. I have come to declare over your life a season of restoration. Nothing that was taken from you will be left forgotten. What seemed buried, what you thought you would never have again, what seemed impossible to recover, I lift up with power and return to you in a greater measure. I restore what you lost in the financial realm. Every frustrated income, every door that was unjustly closed, every contract that was canceled at the last moment, I bring back multiplied. I will make you see that my faithfulness never fails and that the enemy has no authority to keep what belongs to me and was destined for you. The time of crying over losses is over. Now begins the time of celebrating restorations. Every tear shed will be translated into provision, every sleepless night into tangible miracles, every emptiness into fullness. I turn mourning into dancing, and with that dance also come the resources that were missing from your hands. The years in which you saw setbacks will be overshadowed by the glory of this new season. I will not only return what was stolen but will open a river of abundance so that you will never again experience the same lack. Because when I restore, I do not do it partially. I deliver in overflowing measure what at one time was taken from you. You will receive unexpected refunds, Incomes you thought lost will return to you. Investments that seemed dead will rise again with renewed strength. I have decided to honor your perseverance and show you that heaven never forgets what you have sown in faith. Nothing will be lost under my gaze. What the locust devoured in your finances, what drought consumed in your projects, what injustice took from you in opportunities, I will restore gloriously. You will see contracts reopen, clients return, doors open again, and contacts you thought forgotten reappear to bring blessing to your hands. I also restore your ability to dream. You had buried financial projects because you felt you lacked the strength and the means to raise them. Today I breathe life into those ideas and turn them into tangible opportunities. You will see how what seemed lost in memory is reborn with a new glow. There will be no void that is not filled, no loss that is not transformed into gain. I return to you what time and mistakes tried to steal. Even what you gave away out of necessity, what left your hands without you being able to do anything, will come back to you through channels you had not imagined. I will make those who denied you support in the past now come back seeking your alliance. I will open closed accounts, move hardened hearts, and bring financial reconciliations that will change the course of your economic life. My restoration does not arrive late. It comes at the exact moment to show that I have absolute control. That which seemed final is not, because I write the last word. Balances that were in the red will see green numbers, empty accounts will be filled, resources that disappeared will manifest with glory. I not only restore what you lost, I also redeem the time that seemed wasted. I will accelerate processes, make 1 year of work yield fruit as if it were 10. I will increase your capacity to produce and multiply your effort in a measure that will surpass all human logic. What vanished in failed businesses, in unpaid loans, and unfulfilled promises will not be counted as loss. I have decreed that all of it will be transformed into seeds that today germinate with strength, bringing harvests that will surprise you. I am restoring not only money but also confidence. You had lost the assurance that you could manage abundance. Today I place in you wisdom to handle with excellence what you will receive. You will not lose again what I give you because now your heart is firm and your hands strengthened. When others say nothing can be recovered, you will show with your life that my power turns losses into gains. You will be a living testimony that the driest deserts can bloom and that what had withered comes back to life with greater splendor. Do not look back with sadness, for what is coming will be better than what you lost. I do not only return what was stolen, I multiply it in glory. Your financial future will be brighter than any previous stage, because my purpose is to take you from glory to glory, from abundance to abundance. I will give you new properties where before there were only debts, open businesses where there was ruin, raise financial ministries where there were limitations. Everything that failure touched will become the stage of a greater victory. You will see reconciliation with what was unjustly taken. There will be those who seek you to settle accounts from the past. Archived projects will reopen with more strength. Human promises that were not fulfilled in their time will now be fulfilled greatly under my hand. The enemy wanted to convince you that your story was marked by losses. But I decree that your name will be marked by restoration. You will be known as someone who experienced the glorious restitution of heaven in the economic area, and your testimony will inspire multitudes. I am returning what weariness stole: strength, clarity, courage to try again. You will not fear taking new steps because you will know that your shepherd opens a secure path before you. The financial restoration will not be only for you, it will reach your family, your household, your descendants. Where there was ruin, there will now be inheritance. Where there were limitations, there will now be expansion. Your generations will tell how you experienced divine restoration and will live under the fruit of that abundance. I declare over you that your eyes will see miracles of restitution in the coming days. You will see what left you return, you will see what seemed lost reappear, you will see how paths that were blocked open again. Today I raise a banner of victory over your life. What you lost will not be remembered as failure but as the stage where I showed my restoring glory. Is anything too hard for me? At the appointed time I will return to you, and according to the time of life, Sarah shall have a son. Genesis 18 verse 14. I declare over your life that what seemed impossible will be transformed into abundant provision. There are no limits to my power, nor obstacles that can resist my creative word. What the world calls impossible, I turn into evidence of my greatness. When your strength is not enough, when your resources run out and your calculations fail, that is where my power comes into action and manifests the supernatural. I will transform every lack into abundance. I will raise resources from where they do not exist. I will cause income to arise from places you never imagined, because my hand does not depend on human structures nor on economic systems. What today seems like a dead end will become an open road filled with provision. Your financial situation is not defined by the limits of the earth, but by the abundance of heaven. I speak and what did not exist begins to take shape. I command and resources appear at the exact time. I decree and what seemed inaccessible becomes an inheritance for you. The natural world has rules, but my power is not subject to them. I multiplied bread in the wilderness, I opened seas so my people could walk, I brought water from the dry rock. And today I declare that in your life you will also see financial miracles that break all logic. For where there is nothing, I create. Where there is emptiness, I fill. Where there is limitation, I pour out abundance. Do not see the impossible as a sentence. See it as the perfect stage for my glory to manifest. The projects that others discarded because they seemed unattainable, I will resurrect in your hands. The opportunities that seemed closed forever, I will open with a single word. The money that seemed never to arrive will become unexpected provision. Today I set hidden resources in motion on your behalf. What was held up in accounts, what was blocked in processes, what was hidden in men's decisions, I release and direct it toward you. Where there seemed to be no flow, I will make rivers run. Where there seemed to be no fruit, I will bring forth harvests. I am challenging the limitations that had risen against you. It will not be debts, nor paperwork, nor human decisions that dictate your future. It will be I who opens a new horizon in the financial area. I will show you that for me nothing is impossible and that in an instant I can reverse what seemed irreversible. Do not be anxious about what you see, because what I am preparing is much greater than what your mind can calculate. I am arranging divine encounters, strategic connections, opportunities that once seemed out of your reach. I am aligning times, hearts, and decisions so that everything converges in provision for you. You had seen projects fall apart for lack of support. You had felt doors close just before they were finalized. You had felt frustration because you saw no way out. Today I tell you, I use all of that as the perfect stage to show you that nothing limits me. If it were easy, it would not be a miracle. But because it seemed impossible, you will know that it was I who did it. I'm going to surprise you with unexpected turns. The contract that seemed lost will be signed. The payment that seemed delayed will arrive multiplied. The job that seemed closed will open with better conditions. The impossible is not a wall for me, it is the opportunity to show my power. I will provide for you in such extraordinary ways that you will not be able to attribute it to your own effort, but to my intervention. You will see people come with offers, help, and support you never imagined. You will see doors open in markets, companies, and territories that once seemed inaccessible. You will see how your hands manage more than you thought possible. I am raising creative opportunities in your mind. I will make what seemed like a simple dream become a profitable project. I will make what seems small multiply until it impacts multitudes. I will make what others did not value become a source of abundance. The impossible in your finances is turning into provision right now. I am activating connections you did not even know. I am moving people in high places to think of you. I am unlocking access that had been reserved for this time. Every time you were told, "It is not possible," I say, "Yes it is, because I will do it." Every time you heard, "There is no way out," I declare, "I will open a way where there is none." Every time you saw an impossible, I turn it into visible provision. Your table will be filled in the presence of those who doubted. Your accounts will be testimony that my power transcends all calculation. Your projects will be evidence that impossibilities become platforms of glory. You will see no more stagnation. There will be no more hopelessness in the financial area. The cycle of impossibilities ends here. A cycle of divine provision, of open doors, of unexpected abundance begins. I am restoring your faith so that you may believe again. For I will not only provide resources, I will also renew your hope. The impossible had worn you down, but now it will become fuel for your faith. Where once you saw blockages, now you will see miracles. Where once you saw negatives, now you will see affirmations. Where once you saw emptiness, now you will see fullness. I turn promises that seemed forgotten into tangible realities. I turn barrenness into fruit. I turn scarcity into abundance. I turn the impossible into provision, and I do it with power so that all may see and know that nothing is beyond my reach. Prepare yourself to share testimonies of extraordinary provision. Prepare yourself to see how what seemed dead comes back to life. Prepare yourself to see how what was out of your hands returns multiplied. Prepare yourself, for impossibilities are falling, and in their place springs of abundance are bursting forth. Your financial story will change course. You will be a testimony that when everything seemed lost, I intervened. You will be an example that impossibilities are fertile ground for the miracle. You will be a light to inspire others to believe that what seems inaccessible can become provision under my word. Beloved, I desire that you prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. 3 John 1 verse 2. Even before you imagined your needs, I had already prepared for you a path of fullness. I did not plan a life of lack or endless struggles for you, but a life of comprehensive prosperity, where every area of your existence reflects my goodness. I am establishing your life on firm foundations. It will not be fleeting prosperity nor riches that vanish like dust, but solid abundance, sustained by my eternal word. Your prosperity will not be measured only by what enters your hands, but by the fullness you will experience in your spirit, mind, body, and relationships. I want you to understand that financial prosperity is part of a greater whole. I bless you with resources, yes, but also with peace to enjoy them, with wisdom to manage them, with joy to share them, and with purpose to multiply them. For true prosperity is not limited to having, but to living in fullness, impacting and transforming others with what you have received. I raise over you an atmosphere of stability. What was once uncertainty becomes security. What was once fear of tomorrow transforms into unshakable confidence. You will not have to worry about whether what you possess will crumble because what I establish remains. I am pouring comprehensive prosperity over your life, and this means you will see order in your finances, but also balance within. I will heal wounds that affected your vision of abundance, break thoughts of scarcity that made you limit yourself, and plant in you a renewed mindset that opens space for the unlimited. It will not be prosperity that enslaves you, but that sets you free. It will not be wealth that robs you of peace, but that increases it. It will not be a resource that divides, but one that unites. For everything I place in your hands has a higher purpose, to show you my faithfulness and to bless those around you. I will establish in you a lifestyle where abundance flows naturally. Your income will grow, your debts will decrease, your capacity to produce will expand. You will see doors open that endure over time, not fleeting opportunities. And what you build with this prosperity will be solid, because it will be founded on my word and not on the instability of the world. Your prosperity will not be like tides that rise and fall. It will be like a constant river that flows without stopping. There will be months of increasing abundance, seasons of expansion, and years where you will look back and say, truly, everything was multiplied. I am affirming your life in comprehensive prosperity so that nothing will be lacking. There will be balance in your income, provision in your expenses, multiplication in your investments, and rest in your heart. It will not be just one area, it will be all. The blessing will cover your home, your relationships, your projects, and your body. I establish practical wisdom in you for management. What once slipped through your hands will now multiply under your direction. What once seemed little will now be enough and more. What once overwhelmed you with debts will now become a testimony of financial freedom. I am bringing order to your thoughts because it is not enough to give you resources. I also align your mind with a renewed vision. I am teaching you to dream big, to plan with vision, to invest with purpose. You will not walk in confusion, but in clarity. You will not live in disorder, but in organization. When I speak of comprehensive prosperity, I speak of a future where your children inherit not only assets, but values. Where the generations after you will enjoy the fruit of your faithfulness and of my blessing on your life. I speak of an established inheritance, one that cannot be corrupted or lost. I will establish your life in such a way that even in the midst of crises, you will remain firm. Others will fall, but you will stand. Others will retreat, but you will advance. Others will lose, but you will multiply. For your source does not depend on what is visible, but on my inexhaustible power. I will open spaces where you were once rejected. I will make your name mentioned in places of honor. I will make projects that once seemed impossible to you be accomplished with ease. I will make what seems small become a reference. For my plan is to establish you on high, not in uncertainty. I am raising your economic influence so that you are not the tail, but the head. I will give you access to resources and contacts that will open new horizons. I will give you ideas that transform entire environments. I will position you in places where your testimony will speak louder than your words. This comprehensive prosperity will also affect your health. You had carried stress, anxiety, and exhaustion because of finances, but today I release peace that rejuvenates. You had felt tired from working without seeing results, but today I open the way to visible outcomes. I will make you enjoy abundance with renewed strength and a grateful heart. I am giving you comprehensive prosperity because I am aligning you with your purpose. I do not bless you only to accumulate, but so that you may be a channel of blessing. There will be people who see in you a refuge. There will be families who find sustenance through you. There will be communities that experience change because you were faithful in managing what I placed in your hands. You will no longer feel that your prosperity is fragile because it is grounded in my promise. You will no longer fear what is to come because your life is covered by my faithfulness. You will no longer think you will lose what you have because what I give does not vanish. I establish your life in comprehensive prosperity and assure you that you will live in continuous expansion. Your limits will be widened, your dreams reached, and your projects supported. You will walk with the certainty that my blessing does not add sorrow, but multiplies joy. Your story will be testimony that my prosperity is real. You will be an example to many that it is possible to live in fullness without fear of losing what has been gained. You will be a visible sign that when I establish, no one can overthrow. Today I mark a before and after in your life. From now on you will walk under the decree of comprehensive prosperity. What was in ruin rises, what was broken is restored, what was empty is filled, what was limited expands. And everything you do will be prospered in my hands. Jehovah will open for you his good treasure, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hands. And you will lend to many nations, and you will not borrow. Deuteronomy 28 verse 12. Today I seal your life with abundance that has no end. Like a father who protects the most valuable things in his house, I place over you a seal that cannot be broken. That seal is my word, which remains forever. I assure you that nothing and no one can extinguish the spring of provision I establish in your destiny. My promises are eternal, and my resources never run out because they come from my own heavenly treasure. I have seen your sleepless nights, when you thought tomorrow would be uncertain and debts could devour your joy. I have felt every sigh that left your soul as you wondered if you could cover what was necessary. Today I come to transform every tear into signs of my glory and every sigh into a song of victory. My love surrounds you, and within that love I prepare abundance that knows no end. The seal I place over your life is like a key that opens doors that were once closed. This seal speaks before invisible courts, proclaiming that you are under my favor and that ruin no longer has dominion over you. I clothe you with garments of financial honor, where every step you take becomes fertile ground. What others call scarcity, for you will be ground where the miracle flourishes. Your financial story changes today because I decree that everything your hand touches will prosper. You will not live limited to little nor enslaved by the fear of losing what you have gained. I place in your heart wisdom to manage what I give you, and I expand your mind to understand new strategies that will lead you to multiplication. Your thoughts will be guided toward decisions that will open sources of unexpected income. Remember that you are not an empty vessel, but a repository where I pour inexhaustible wealth. Every idea I give you will be a powerful seed. Every opportunity one place before you will be a direct door to your expansion. What seemed impossible, I will make simple. What seemed unattainable, I will bring within your hand. You will no longer walk in fear of failure, because in every attempt my wind of success will blow. Today I extend my heavens over your life and declare a constant rain of blessing. That rain will fall on the fields of your efforts, on the projects you have sown, on the dreams you kept in silence. It will not be a rain that destroys, but one that fertilizes and beautifies. I will make fruit spring forth from your hands in every season, even in those that others consider barren. For you, there will be no drought, because you have been marked with my eternal seal. The day will come when you look back and remember the times when you thought there was no way out. In that moment, you will understand that I brought you from scarcity to overflow. I will show you that even in financial trials, I was shaping you, preparing you to sustain the abundance I now deposit in you. My abundance is neither fleeting nor limited by human numbers. My abundance is eternal because it flows from my own being. I seal your life with promises that reach generations. What I activate in you will extend to your household, your descendants. My blessing does not run out, it multiplies. Where others saw chains, I establish inheritance. Where there seem to be ruins, I raise a solid foundation of integral wealth. You will not only have enough, you will have to sow, to extend your hand, to lift others who still cry in silence. Hear my decree, you will never again be a slave to loans that took your peace. I will put in you the ability to give, to invest, to lend, and to sustain without fear. I will change your position from debtor to benefactor, from needy to provider. You will not walk under the yoke of scarcity, but under the freedom of eternal abundance. Every pending debt will be absorbed by my power, and every loss will be transformed into unexpected gain. Today I also seal your heart against pride that may arise in the midst of prosperity. I grant you abundance with purpose, wealth with eternal meaning. Your prosperity will be a channel, not a pond. I will use you to open doors for those who do not know how to start. You will be a living testimony that my faithfulness never fails and that I continue multiplying loaves in the midst of deserts. Remember that my riches are not only material. Within eternal abundance I also include peace that cannot be bought, joy that cannot be negotiated, and strength that cannot be acquired with gold. My provision encompasses the invisible and the visible, the eternal and the temporal. When you see everything around you flourish, you will know it is not luck. It is my seal speaking for you. Today I close with my own hands the portals of loss. I cancel projects that would absorb your resources without yielding fruit. I tear down deceptions that wanted to steal from you under the guise of opportunities. I will not allow your efforts to be devoured by the useless. Everything you undertake will be productive, and everything you build will remain. I will surprise you with contracts, agreements, and businesses you never imagined having. The right people will come into your life. The allies you need will appear at the right moment. I myself coordinate divine encounters that unleash your prosperity. When you least expect it, you will receive news that will transform your financial outlook in an instant. Every word I pronounce today is imprinted as a burning seal on your destiny. That seal is a guarantee that you will live in perpetual abundance. It does not depend on markets or governments, it depends solely on me. And I tell you that my treasure is open in your favor. There will be days when you will feel that provision flows so naturally that it will seem like an unstoppable river. That will be my confirmation that the seal of eternal abundance is already upon you. Your accounts will be full, but also your heart, because you will understand that behind every resource is my loving hand. Today I decree that your name will be associated with clean prosperity, with upright wealth, with abundance that builds. Those who once doubted you will recognize that you were backed from above. The voices that criticized you will have to fall silent before the evidence of my provision in your life. I also seal your future. No global crisis can take from you what I establish in you. Even if others tremble, you will walk firm because I am your eternal provider. My promises are not subject to inflation or recession. My promises are firm like an indestructible rock. Today I declare that your life becomes a living testimony of eternal abundance. I bless you with ideas that will change your generation. I fill you with creativity to open companies, businesses, ministries, works, and projects that will bring impact. The wealth I release over you will be a seed to transform cities, families, and nations. I seal your life with eternal abundance, and that seal will never be removed. When you close your eyes each night, you will feel peace because you will know that your tomorrow is secured. When you wake, you will see open doors and provision waiting for you. My abundance does not end at the close of a season. It is renewed every day like the sun that shines again. Thus I conclude what I began in you. You will not have an ending of lack, but of glory. You will not close your story with empty hands, but with overflowing barns. I seal you today and forever with eternal abundance.